In this video, we're going to use our 123D design skills to create a flashlight using a coin cell battery and an LED. I'm going to go ahead and rotate my canvas to the top view and start a sketch. And the first thing we're going to sketch out is our coin cell battery. I'm using a CR2032, and I looked up the specs in Wikipedia, and it said that the diameter of the coin cell battery is 20 millimeters. So that would give us a radius of 10, and then I'm going to divide my material tolerance 0.7 in half. So I'm going to make this circle 10.35. Then I'm going to go ahead and create the LED next. I'm going to give it a length of 1 and a width of 6.2. I measured the LED base and it had a diameter of 5.5 millimeters. So I'm going to add my material tolerance 0.7, and that'll give me the width of 6.2. Next, I'm going to create the little dome area of the LED, but I'm going to use just a rectangle sketch, and I'm going to set the length to be about 4, I guess. And the width, I got 5 millimeters. So again, I'm going to add my material tolerance to give me 0.7, so 5.7. I'm just going to do a rough lineup of these two pieces. If you zoom in, you can get a better lineup. Next, I'm going to sketch out the arm of the LED, or the contact. I'm going to set the length to be 25.7 millimeters. The width of the leg is 0.5 millimeters. So if I add my material tolerance of 0.7, I'll get a value of 1.2 as my width. And again, I'm just going to line these up pretty roughly, just so that there's some overlap when I start to do the extruding. Alright, next I'm going to make sure that the coin cell battery is overlapping the LED. You want to make sure that it's on the legs of the LED, because those legs have to make contact to the coin cell battery. I'm just going to roughly center it. Next, I'm going to reposition my coin cell and my LED just so that they're in the middle of some grid lines, so that I can use the grid lines with my sketches. Next, we're going to use the Polyline Tool to create a sketch of our actual flashlight case around these elements. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw around. Now I want to make sure that the dome of my LED sticks out, but I'm going to try and use that sort of wider base as a lip to try and keep it contained in the case. So I'm going to put the top of my line over that lip, but not crossing either one of those. All right, now we'll build it across. So that whole dome piece should stick out from our flashlight, but that little lip will get held in with the base. All right, and now we have the base shape of the flashlight. Since this is going to print in 2 parts, I'm going to create some recesses or some holes that I can stick pegs into from the top part into the bottom part to hold it together. So I think I want a diameter of 3, so I'm going to set the radius for these holes to be 1.5. And I couldn't really get it to lock in place where I wanted it, so I sketched it outside of the flashlight case, and then I'm going to move it in to where I actually want it to be. Now I'm just going to copy and paste this and make 4 holes. Now that I've got the basic shape of my flashlight sketched, I'm actually going to create a copy of it and move it over just a little bit. And so one piece, or one side will be my bottom and one piece will be my top. So you can see where I'm working. I'm going to go ahead and label them in 123D Design, but this is not part of the design. I'm just adding this for clarification as we're going along. So the one on my left will be the bottom and the one on the right will be the top. With the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and select the main flashlight outline and go ahead and extrude it up. And extrude about 4 millimeters right now. Now, I actually want to extrude the rest of those sketches from the top of my flashlight case. So I'm going to go ahead and go down, grab those sketches, and move them up to the top of that solid. You may need to zoom in a bit to get all of the sketches selected. And now I'm just going to move all of those sketches to on top of my solid. So I'm going to move them up 4 millimeters. I'm going to go ahead and extrude the coin cell area down. So I'm going to extrude the coin cell hole down about 3.2 millimeters, which is the thickness that Wikipedia said that battery size is. The next thing I'm going to do is the holes that are going to hold the two halves together. So the pins are going to be one size on the top, and then the holes are going to be on the bottom. I'm going to actually create offsets on the bottom pieces so that the pins will make sure that they fit in there. If I didn't create these offsets, the hole would be the exact same size as the pins, and they might not fit. So I'm just going to go ahead and expand them 0.7. And then I'm going to go back and delete the inner circle. This will make sure that I have a hole just slightly bigger than the pegs I'm going to be putting in them. I'm going to extrude these holes down about 2.5 millimeters. Next, I'm going to go ahead and extrude down the area filled in by the LED. And I don't want to take it all the way through. So I'm just going to take it down about 3.5 millimeters. Now the base of the LED, I realized that I made it exactly 1 millimeter in length, and it probably should have been 1.7 millimeters to allow for my material tolerance. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab that top edge of the base and just kind of grab it and drag it up until I get something around 1.7. Now I need to move that whole box back down so that it's inside the flashlight. Now I'm going to extrude these two sketches down. About 3.5 millimeters. Alright, and the bottom looks pretty good.